criticizing those protests against stay-at-home orders as some states move to jumpstart their economies, reopening beaches and businesses, while hard-hit New York State now sees signs of progress. Governor Cuomo meeting with President Trump, pushing him to ramp up testing.
On the front lines, Massachusetts getting hit hard.
We're still very much in the grips of a pandemic here in Massachusetts.
GMA right there with first responders in Boston, overwhelmed by calls, ICUs at capacity, and now the new critical tool bringing hope is so-called contact tracing, the key to bouncing back.
New overnight, more relief on the way for small business. The Senate approves nearly $500 billion for small businesses, hospitals, and testing. This as outrage grows over top universities and big restaurant chains getting millions in stimulus funds.
Harvard's going to pay back the money, and they shouldn't be taking it.
What Harvard is saying this morning about why they're taking the money and who will benefit. Food supply fears. Packaging plants shut down, more meat processing plants closed. Workers say they were given hairnets to use as face masks. And those empty store shelves across the country are raising concerns. Now the head of one of America's biggest grocery store chains joins us live. What he says about the food supply, your groceries, and the people working on the front lines at the cash register. It's all ahead on GMA.
COVID-19 and car insurance. Almost no one on the roads right now. So many insurance companies giving money back to customers. What to know, how to get it, the payback that you could benefit from right now.
Gronkowski touchdown.
And they're back. Rob Gronkowski returns. The surprise announcement overnight as one of the most beloved stars in the NFL is taking his talents to Tampa and re-teaming with Tom Brady for a blockbuster reunion.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
You like that music, huh, Amy?
Oh, yes.
All right. Good morning, America. Happy Wednesday to all of you out there. Kind of makes me happy to see Rob Gronkowski going back to the NFL. And Robin, what makes me happy as well is seeing some more community. They're rallying together in very unexpected ways.
Yeah, I'm jamming with you right here in CT, and I'm telling you, you cannot get enough of this. It just warms your heart when you see this all across the country. A special celebration here in Florida. Neighbors throwing a parade for a 3-year-old who found her forever home. We're going to have much more on that later, and you have something special to share as well, Amy.
Yeah, speaking of heartwarming, take a look at this reunion. It happened at a hard-hit hospital in Brooklyn. This is a new mother recovering from COVID-19. She is reuniting with her baby girl after 25 days of being apart. That will bring tears to your eyes, certainly. George?
Oh, that is one of the best stories of the day. And those stories are really continuing to multiply across the United States. Right now, more than 75,000 people have recovered across the country as we see more than 820,000 confirmed cases in America. And yesterday, the Senate passed a nearly $500 billion relief package. The bulk of this is going to go to small businesses. It also includes funding for hospitals and COVID testing.
And George, we're going to begin with parts of the country already getting back to business and the major concerns that some states might be opening their doors too early. Whit Johnson starts us off in New York where the hospital ship USNS Comfort is docked, but not for long. Good morning, Whit.
Michael, good morning to you. That Navy hospital ship Comfort behind me here will soon be sent back to Virginia. After treating a limited number of patients, New York's governor agreed that it's no longer needed here. This as the director of the CDC is raising the alarm about a potential second wave of the virus.
This morning, as the pandemic curve appears to flatten in some areas, a dire new warning from the head of the CDC, saying that a second wave of the virus this winter could be even worse, telling the Washington Post, we're going to have the flu epidemic and the coronavirus epidemic at the same time.
I don't know if it will be worse. I think this has been pretty bad. So we're going to continue that surveillance from now all the way through the fall to be able to give us that early warning signal.
CDC Director Robert Redfield also asked about recent protests against stay-at-home orders and tweets from President Trump to liberate states from restrictions, saying it's not helpful.
It's not a question of helpful or not. People want to get back to work.
This as 3 southern states are moving to jumpstart their economies, despite not being able to report 2-week declines in cases as White House guidelines recommend. On Tuesday, South Carolina allowing beaches to reopen.
It's showtime!
Some department stores, flower shops, and other non-essential businesses back open too.
We're excited about the future, and we're positive, and we're just really glad we can have people in the store again.
In Tennessee, the vast majority of businesses allowed to reopen May 1st, some as early as next week. And in Georgia, backlash from some mayors after the governor announced gyms, nail salons, and bowling alleys could reopen this Friday.
I pray that the number of Georgians who are infected and die will not increase significantly in the coming weeks as a result of the lifting of these restrictions.
But in hard-hit New York, signs of progress.
Our calculus of good, our definition of good has changed here. Good is now not terrible.
Governor Andrew Cuomo traveling to Washington, urging President Trump to help coordinate the supply chain needed to ramp up testing, both calling the meeting productive. But amid so much uncertainty, that moment of pure joy inside Maimonides Hospital in Brooklyn.
Can I touch?
Iris Nolasco, diagnosed with COVID-19, then separated from her newborn baby girl following an emergency C-section. Now reunited with little Isabella Michelle after 25 days apart.
Truly an incredible moment for that family. Here in New York, Governor Andrew Cuomo says he hopes to double the state's testing capacity from 20,000 to 40,000 people per day. And he said that President Trump agreed to help secure the supplies. Amy.
All right, that is good news. Whit, thank you. Massachusetts is still, as the governor says, very much in the grip of the pandemic. Cases are spiking there now, the state with the 3rd most in the country. Will Reeve joins us with the latest after spending the day in Boston with overwhelmed first responders. Good morning, Will.
Good morning, Amy. The first thing you notice in Boston is the sirens. First responders answering call after call as hospitals there expect a surge. But the state is underway with a new approach to stopping the spread.
This morning, COVID-19 taking hold in Massachusetts. GMA right there, following first responders in Boston, where they've responded to over 1,200 coronavirus calls.
77-year-old female with a cough.
39-year-old male with cough.
Before they can go in and respond to this call, in this case an elderly patient, Boston EMS have to suit up in all PPE, taking every possible precaution.
No matter the nature of the call, EMS treat it as a COVID response.
It's been a long day. We're exhausted. There's no sugarcoating this stuff. We're drained.
Everyone's at a higher stress level right now.
The death toll in Massachusetts now close to 2,000, with over 41,000 confirmed cases statewide, the 3rd highest in the country. Some hospital ICUs almost filled to capacity, while preparing for an expected surge of new patients.
We're still very much in the grips of a pandemic here in Massachusetts.
But a change could be on the horizon, as the state now takes on COVID-19 with a new critical tool, employing 1,000 contact tracers who will call anyone who spent more than 15 minutes in close contact with someone who has tested positive, asking them to self-isolate for 2 weeks.
The more people we can reach and recommend isolation or quarantine procedures, the less likelihood there is that we'll have an increase of this virus.
So far, the first 250 contact tracers have been making calls to individuals, and if the individual is found to have had close contact with someone who has tested positive, they will be asked to self-isolate. Again, close contact is defined as 6 feet or less with someone for 15 minutes or more. Robin?
Important to note. All right, well, thank you. We're going to bring in Dr. Jennifer Ashen now to discuss more about this. And Jen, we heard from the head of the CDC saying that a possible second wave this winter could be even worse than what we are experiencing now. Can you break that down for us?
Well, Robin, in public health, it's so important to not only look at what's happening today, but also look down the road into the future. And so we're talking about two viral respiratory illnesses, both with a range of severity, both potentially deadly. And for some perspective, Robin, take a look at these numbers. CDC estimates that this season, over an 8-month period, there have been 24,000 flu-related deaths. In just 2 months, we've tracked 43,000 COVID-related deaths. So you can see how together that could put a significant strain on an already strained healthcare system.
Especially when you see the numbers side by side like that, Jen. Research, and there's always new information coming in, and there's new research linking severe complications of coronavirus with obesity. What's that about?
Yeah. So, Robin, we heard Dr. Anthony Fauci identify obesity as a risk factor for complications and death from COVID-19. But there's new data out of China, not yet peer-reviewed, but they wanted to explore whether or not obesity is a direct risk factor for infection with COVID-19. And it's all about that receptor, that ACE2 receptor that lets the virus attach to our respiratory tract. They have thought that adipose tissue, fat cells, also show this receptor. So people with obesity could have more sites potentially for the coronavirus to infect. Still needs more research, but this is important to increase awareness and help with prevention in this vulnerable population.
Yeah, as you said, we still need more research in that regard. This was very startling. We learned this late yesterday. California reporting that their first coronavirus death happened much earlier than was first thought. Tell us more about that.
Right, and I think, Robin, all evidence points to, again, the power of asymptomatic transmission in this pandemic. 25 to 50% of those people infected can show no symptoms. So now, as we look back, we are finding more COVID-19 associated deaths. And again, that tip of the iceberg phenomenon.
All right, Jen. Thanks so much. Let's get back now to George. George?
Okay, Robin, thanks. Let's go to Washington now, where the Senate has passed a new relief package with nearly $500 billion for small businesses, hospitals, and testing. But there's now a backlash against big restaurant chains and top universities that receive stimulus funds. Rebecca Jarvis joins us with that story. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, George. And the objective was to get that money out quickly. But now that we're learning whose hands it actually made it into, it turns out some of those companies that were best connected with the biggest banking relationships were the ones who actually received the funds.
Prestigious Harvard University, among the many approved for stimulus funds, granted $8.6 million with the requirement that half the money be set aside for students. The money provided to universities and other Ivy League schools under the $14 billion CARES Act has sparked backlash from critics, citing the Ivy League schools' $40 billion endowment.
Harvard's going to pay back the money, and they shouldn't be taking it. They have one of the largest endowments anywhere in the country, maybe in the world, I guess, and they're going to pay back that money.
But this morning, Harvard says it will be keeping the money, clarifying that 100% of the funds is for financial assistance for students to meet their urgent needs in the face of this pandemic. This as some of the nation's largest restaurant chains like Ruth's Chris and Potbelly Sandwiches are facing backlash, expected to receive millions from the Payroll Protection Program, which is meant to help small businesses keep their employees. Shake Shack returning $10 million it received after public outcry. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is now calling on those other large companies to follow suit or face the consequences.
We want to make sure this money is available to small businesses that need it, people who have invested their entire life savings.
And the new Senate-approved funds, that $484 billion that is now set to go to the House, includes $60 billion specifically set aside for small businesses with smaller banking, community banking relationships, not just those big banks. And Michael, the idea is that will be a way to make sure that a lot of those mom and pop restaurants out there, which are suffering so greatly right now, get the money.
Yeah,
Michael?
hope. Thank you, Rebecca. We hope the money goes to the right businesses. Thank you so much for that. And we're going to turn now to the pandemic overseas and life without lockdown in Sweden. It's one of the few countries not to issue mandatory restrictions, instead relying on people to act responsibly on their own. James Longman is in Stockholm with more. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. We left Denmark this morning, a country that's been in lockdown for about a month, and arrived here in Sweden, where there is no official lockdown in place. It is rather strange to see, but the government says that the illnesses are not spreading as much as they once were. You can see people in cafes and restaurants enjoying being out in the sun. Actually, when I was checked into the hotel this morning, the receptionist said people from all over the world have checked in. Now, it's not totally normal here. It's just that authorities are asking people to take more social responsibility, more individual responsibility, advising against crowds and saying people should work from home where possible. The government says all this is working. Infections have peaked April 15th, and they're slowly achieving immunity. 600,000 people possibly may now no longer have the virus by May 1st. Robin?
That is encouraging. All right, James, thank you. And while the planet is in the grips of a global pandemic, the natural world has been impacted as well. On this Earth Day, with so many staying home, we have seen a huge drop in air pollution. Ginger joins us now with some incredible before and after images. This is something. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning, Robin. Happy Earth Day, everyone. And yes, we know that this has been so difficult, devastating really for the economy and so many of us. But the plants and the animals that we share this planet with are now reacting and expressing themselves in ways we haven't seen in a long time.
The animals are taking over streets and wildlife is roaming with less fear.
That's amazing.
Jellyfish gliding freely through nearly boatless Venice canals. Biologists in Thailand finding the largest number of endangered sea turtles in 2 decades nesting on its empty beaches.
We have been taking habitat from these animals. It might cause a sort of increased awareness of the natural beauty that's right around us.
With bears reclaiming Yosemite National Park.
For the most part, I think they're having a party.
The global lockdowns helping to make skies more clear. In India, while 1 billion people on the subcontinent stay home, the Himalayas are now visible from this spot in northern India for the first time in decades.
It's just been a tremendous clearing, and there's no question that that itself will have saved lives.
Similar impacts being seen in Europe. Satellite imagery showing France, Spain, and Italy all experiencing drop-offs in air pollution. In the U.S., the Northeast seeing about a 30% drop in nitrogen dioxide.
This crisis is awful and scary, but it's incumbent on us to look for ways in which we can come out of it stronger than we were.
But let's be real, we didn't fix everything, right? Air pollution levels are expected to come back to normal as soon as we're back to business, just like they have in China. But this is a great moment, a moment of pause for all of us to realize that our choices do impact the environment around us, and maybe we can make a healthier balance going forward. Robin?
That's so true. Thanks for putting it like that, Ginger. And we're going to have much more on Earth Day, the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, including a visit with Chris Hemsworth and some adorable little koalas. That's coming up in our next hour, Michael.
All right, Robin. And we are also following a lot of other headlines this morning, including those food supply fears. The CEO of Kroger, one of the nation's largest grocery store chains, is going to join us live. And now let's go back to Ginger. Hey, Ginger.
And we'll get straight to the stormy cities, Michael, brought to you by CarMax.
Social distancing doesn't have to make us socially distant, right? I mean, humans need other humans. Even if we can't stand closer than 6 feet or touch each other, there's still ways to touch each other, like picking up food or supplies or dropping them off. After all, cars were invented to bring us closer together. So CarMax is doing everything we can to keep you going. And that's the way it should be.
Well, happy Earth Day as you head outdoors to spend a little time with sunshine. It's going to be a brisk day, so keep that in mind. Don't need the heavier jacket. Temperatures in the 30s this morning will hit 60 degrees by the afternoon. Sunshine all the way through. We're tracking 2 weather makers coming your way. One for the end of the week, Thursday and Friday. Heavier rain Thursday late into Friday. And then another system for Saturday. Chance of showers and storms late Saturday, then a washout potentially on Sunday.
And we're going to have more on Gronk and Tom Brady when we come back.
A pandemic has the